Go.
Thank you so much for joining. Can you all hear me? I realize I've not got a mic, so I'm not going to project too much, but I think we're in a small enough space. Firstly, welcome, Andreas, and thank you for joining us, Agnes, as well for this conversation. If you don't mind, can we please give another round of applause, because it's, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Hey, many thanks to you.
We're really delighted to have you here. I am going to just quickly inform the audience a little bit about, remind them on how to do the audience questions, and then I'll pass over to Agnes to have a look so that you can have a little bit of a conversation, and then at some point you can prompt me back and we'll see what questions we have from our audience here.
Okay.
So thank you so much for joining us and staying for the Q&A. As you can see, I think up there is slido.com, where you can, oh, yeah, it's under, sorry, it's under my thing, but it's so, if you can't see very well.
455 437.
We've got a very helpful audience here.
455 437.
Thank you. Yes, so on slido.com, and the code is 455437. So if you have any questions, I'm sorry we cannot pass mics around, but please input them there, and then I'll relay them over to Andreas and Agnes. Okay, cool. Over to you.
Yeah,
I'm just going to step aside, and then you guys can go for it. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Andreas, again, welcome to Sheffield Online.
Yeah,
so
thank you for inviting me.
Welcome. This is the international premiere of Borderland, which means that the film has been already shown in Poland and in Germany.
And only once, yeah.
And only once.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, also you were online, but
yeah.
That's it. So I wanted to thank you for this journey in the Borderland. And I wanted to tell you that as I know a little bit your previous films and the way you work, I was wondering, and I know that you like a lot to go back and have news of people that you have filmed before, some other films. So I wanted to know, not always, but you like to do that.
Yeah.
I wanted to know what was the starting point and the approach to do this one. Was it because of Carla and because you wanted to have news of Carla, or not at all? What made you suddenly want to go back to this Borderland specifically?
As you know, the first film, it's called Borderland, A Journey. It was produced in 91, 92. That means 30 years ago. So the reason to go back was not to meet Carla again. The reason was really for me personally to go back to see what's happening in this region. Yeah, because it's a region in the middle of Europe, as we know, or maybe not in the middle, but close to the middle. And it is a very, on the other hand, it's very, very far from us. So it's deep in the east. Yes, it's even if you're looking from Germany, from Germany to this Polish border, if you, for example, live in the former West, then it is really so far like Africa in a way. Yeah. So and it is not very spectacular, and it's far away. So you have these two rivers, Oder and Neisse, and I wanted to know, in my way of doing these personal films, what I can observe there, what I can find, what stories, what people. This was the reason. And of course, then when we were sure that we can do this film, then I wanted, of course, to know who from these former films 30 years ago is still available, let me say, and then it was relatively easy to find Carla, and yeah, it was the reason.
Thank you. And also, this beautiful film raises many questions. As you say, it raises questions about Europe, history of Europe before, and how is Europe now. But there is something also about language, and identity. And the fact that you yourself speak German, and Polish, I'm sure helped a lot, no, to find all these people.
Oh yeah, sure. It is, of course, I did films in other countries too, where I cannot speak the language, and you need the help of an interpreter. But yeah, it's without my Polish language knowledge, I wouldn't have done this film. Yeah, because on the other hand, for me, it's very, very personal, because when I was a young man, I had my studies, or part of my studies in Poland. So I'm connected in a way of, an emotional way and a cultural way connected to Poland. And that's the personal reason for doing this film.
Mita, do we have questions for the audience already?
We do have some.
Please.
And actually, building on your point about language as well, Andreas, can you tell us about the size of the crew and process of filming the interviews? How do you work with people to make them feel comfortable to talk to the camera?
Yeah, this is always a very, very important thing in making documentaries. First, I do a lot of research for my films to find protagonists. And the thing with the protagonist is always, of course, everybody can be a protagonist in a film, but the thing is, if you want to have emotional or bring emotions into a documentary, it's not so easy, maybe like in a fiction film. You have to find your characters, your protagonists, and not every person, not everybody of us is able to, let me say, to show yourself and to open yourself in front of the camera. And that's why it is so important to find these people during the research process. And what I do is, it's more how I do it. What I do is I do a lot of pictures, I mean photos, not filming during the research process. And so you feel in a second, or in a part of a second, of the person in front of the camera likes this technical thing, what is between him or her and me. And it helps a lot. And it is, in a way, maybe the word is not so good, but in a way, a documentary is also some kind of casting, because you have to find your protagonists. And this is one thing. And the other is that everybody of us, every person, even if you come to a completely strange or unknown situation where you have never been before, or you never met these people, everybody of them or of us feels in a second if these men or women are coming into this room or are behind this camera, if you can trust them or if you don't have a good feeling. So it's a lot connected with feelings, with non-verbal vibrations. So this is, I think, the most important thing. Trust is very, very important. Trust. And yeah, and the ability to show something from your inside. Of course, it is always also connected with the situations you are in. Yeah? But these are the things.
The second part of the question was, I think, the size of the crew. Was it a small crew?
Pardon me. Pardon me. Forgot. The crew is very small. It's the cameraman, the soundman, and me. So we are three, or we were three.
And one of the cameramen is a cameraman that we've been working with since ages.
Yeah, one of the cameramen is Sebastian Richter. He is a cameraman with whom I worked. I'm working for 30 years also now, and doing this Leipzig series where I'm following since '89 some people from the East. They were very young when the war collapsed. And Sebastian is mentioned here, of course, in the film. But Sebastian didn't shot this film, but he shot this the first one, Grenzland, and all the episode from the former film with Carla when she was young is from Sebastian. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Mita, do you have another question?
We have another question. Before that, I'm going to add one of my own, if that's all right. You talked about sort of familiarity and trust with the interviewees. Is there any interviews that you had that you discarded? Any material that, any conversations that did not fit into the final film?
No. In this film, there isn't. All the protagonists I met are in the film. Yeah.
Wow.
Short answer.
Thank you. We have another question, and they thank you for your beautiful film, and ask when will it be available in Britain, and can you tell us a little bit about the future plans for the film as well?
What we do, if it will be available in Britain, I don't know yet. We have a distributor in Germany. It's Missing Films, who's an English name. And they will bring the film into the cinema now, because we will have, and I'm very happy about that, our premiere, our first screening on July 9th in the Berlin Cinema Babylon. And I'm very happy about that, because of Corona, all the cinema were closed, as you know. So, and then we'll start in Germany. And of course, we will try to find someone, maybe in Great Britain, who is willing to show the film, of course. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, good luck for the screenings. And yes, I'll let you continue.
Can I ask a last question? Well, it's not really a question. It's because I'm curious. I wanted to, of course, the audience noticed that the last protagonist was going to Sheffield.
Yeah, by chance. Yeah, really by chance.
I know, but I cannot not mention it as we are in Sheffield now. So I wanted to have news. Do you have news from Aniela?
Yeah, Aniela is in the moment in Poland because of the Corona situation in Britain. She decided to go to Poland, and now they're in vacations or whatever. But she plans to go back to Sheffield, because to continue with her studies. Yeah.
And very last one. Do you have already an idea for a next film?
Yeah, what we do, we plan to continue our work with this Leipzig series. Because it is now 6 films we did in the period of these 30 years now, and we have a little money from the Mitteldeutsche Medienförderung not to make the film, but to do shootings and to collect material. So this is what we are doing in a moment. And then I'm very happy and curious, of course, what can we do with a film in Germany, and I mean with Borderland in the cinemas. And I will travel to do Q&As, and because I'm curious what are the people thinking and how it will work at all. Yeah, so because it's so brand new, even if it's now existing for 1 year, but on the other hand, I think this film, I hope that you can see the film in 10 years and then 15 years. So it is somehow, of course, a document from a certain period and a certain way of feeling and thinking, and yeah.
Wonderful. Again, thank you for this absolutely wonderful journey in Borderland. And I'm sure this film will last, and we will be happy to watch it anytime. And I wish really that we will find someone to distribute it in the UK. Thank you
that
much.
would be great. Thank you so much, and give a lot of greetings to the audience, please. Yeah,
they can hear you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. All the best. Hey.
Thank you, everyone.
It's funny, we can hear even the people applaud.
Yeah.
You're still here.
We're still here, yeah. I don't want to if we lose connection, but they all do want we would have tried to turn it around. It's just that Greg will tell me off if I mess with the materials.
Thank you so much, Mita.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
Thank you.
Thank
All the
you.
best and our best wishes for your film. We're really
Thank
looking
you.
forward to seeing
Thank
it.
you.
And thank you,
All the best.
Sheffield audience.